Guys, so it is about a couple hours after I posted the first video. As you can see, the timer is still going. So we've got about 20 hours left in this challenge. Just to update you guys, the campaign spent about $5. CPM is looking amazing. Clicks are looking really good. $1.09 cost per click. I'm not sure if there's any, I don't think I've checked for any add to carts or anything like that. It's only been $5, but you know, we're dropshippers, so yeah, no add to carts, no nothing yet. But of course, as I'm filming this video, we get a huge Shopify outage. I am in my, like, it's absolutely insane. There's tons of comments of people having their storefronts down, particularly US storefronts. I had one of our community members, Bryce, post about this, and I was like, mine looks good, and he's like, yeah, mine's cooked. I went to your site and it was down for me a few minutes. Maybe it's fixed though, so I don't know. We're basically, the TLDR of this is we're having, of course, intermittent, huge Shopify issues. I tried it on another browser and it actually was down, so I don't know if that's going to impact. Hopefully they can fix that if it's not too big of an issue, but man, that sucks if in the middle of this challenge literally Shopify goes down, man. That would really suck, but no coping here. We still got time left, so let's see how this goes. It is now the morning of it is Friday, August 8th at 9:35 a.m. There is officially 2 hours left on this challenge. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was sweating very, very much because yeah, it's been, you know, 22 hours at this point. We had a Shopify outage. I had no clue if the traffic was even going to the right product page. And I was honestly thinking that, fuck, I'm gonna have to give someone $100. I mean, obviously it's just $100, so I wasn't like really, really sweating. But at the very last second, I got a cha-ching. I don't know if you guys can see that cha-ching there. And I thought this was for a Purify fountain, but I went ahead and checked the order, and I was absolutely shocked to see that someone actually bought a set of purifiers, and to top it off, they spent $155, baby! Now, I checked. The reason why I was like so shocked was because I usually check my session details to figure out which ads and campaigns are getting the stores, and I was like, I had no clue that someone actually, or that I was like, I don't recognize this URL, and $155 freaking dollars. Let's go! So that means we have officially hit $100 in less than 24 hours. This timer has been going literally since yesterday's recording. So we're gonna jump into the ad account and break down what exactly happened. And as you guys know, as I mentioned already, this is not a product that I'm seriously going to run. This was just more a challenge to see if I could get to $100. And I got there literally by this much margin. So fuck yeah, let's go. I'm gonna take you inside of the ad account. Let's do it. Alrighty, welcome into the ad account. We have officially achieved our challenge and hit $100. We had $150 in sales. It was technically one super massive order, but that was kind of the main point of running that offer that we did, was to try and incentivize as many people to take that higher priced offer. Now, for some reason in the ad account, and what we're gonna do right now for the rest of this video is we're gonna review the results, talk about what went well, what I think I could have done better to actually get more results even faster, and talk about what to do next after you pass through this initial stage of mass desire testing. So if you want to get, you know, $100 in sales is great, but how do you make it 1,000? How do you make it 10K a day? That's what I'm going to talk about in the rest of this video. So a couple of things really quick. So I'm trying not to DDoS my customer by giving away her data. But the reason why I know, like, as you see in the ad account, the sale has not actually registered. So shout out to Facebook for their tracking. But the sale is here. And just to prove to you guys that this was an actual sale that came from ads, and I think I just DDoSed my customer anyways. So you can see here on the conversion summary, this is their first order. This is the first session from Facebook, one session over 1 day. And if I click on the conversion details, it will actually tell me which campaign that the sale came from. So this was the first page they visited. This was the campaign. that they came from. And if I go into my ads manager and if I click on this new sales campaign, which we created yesterday, I will go ahead and show you guys just so you know this is legit. That if I type on campaign ID, and if I throw this all the way up front, right over there. Okay, so if I throw on the campaign ID, you guys will be able to see that the campaign ID, which is 120228900, lines up exactly with the campaign ID that we're showing here. 12022, 12022, wait, 120228900. 120228900. So as you can see, this sale was in fact generated by a Facebook ad click from a customer who I think I might have accidentally just DDoSed. And yeah, it's freaking awesome, man. I'm so stoked that we were able to achieve this. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the ad account and do a quick review of what we did, what I think I can do better in the future, and also how do you take it from here if you follow this strategy. Okay, so let's talk about the campaign setup just as a quick refresher. As you guys know, any new product that we launch, we're always going to start with testing for mass desires. In other words, what is the primary thing that people want to get out of a product? If you have a weight loss product, do people want to lose weight so they can fit into their jeans better? Do they want to be more attractive? Do they want to rekindle the fire in their marriage? Whatever it is they want to get out of a product, that is what we test for first. And oftentimes, guys, as you saw, like the actual ad setup in and of itself wasn't crazy. We used image ads, we used ad copy with the mass desires for each specific ad copy in each of these ad sets. And as you can see, like the fact that we were able to even just generate one sale using very basic image ads, I hope you guys can see that you don't need to be ripping content. You don't need video ads. You don't need UGC. You don't need to be using AI UGC. You don't need, number one, you really just don't need to be ripping content. If your goal is just to make a few $100s a day in sales profitably with dropshipping, you can do it so much easier without having to worry about like ripping content and finding the next video ad or creating video ads for hours. Especially with AI, if you're using our copy strategy, it's just becomes so much easier. It's become easier than ever before to make money with dropshipping because of how advanced these AI tools are getting. And as you can see, just by focusing on testing desires, instead of just like throwing a bunch of creative into a campaign or downloading the top 10 PP ads or video ads from Callow data and then uploading them into a CBO campaign, hopefully you can see by having a more intentional approach and literally just by testing to communicate what do people want to get out of this product, we were actually able to generate a sale. And obviously yesterday, I think combining yesterday and today, we are profitable, but looking at just today in a vacuum, this is completely profitable. I mean, $37 to make back 155. Unfortunately, I don't know if the purchase is going to load in, which does kind of suck. I think another thing that I would have changed, well, we'll get to that in a second here, but the way that I would analyze the results of this campaign is once you figure out what is the mass desire taking the highest amount of spend and generating the highest volume of conversions, that is the mass desire that you then want to start testing new angles against. And my camera's going off, wait. And new angles and angle testing is really the phase where you can take a store from 1K a day to 10K a day in like a couple of days. I mean, I'm not even joking to you. It can happen really, really quickly, as a lot of our members have proven inside of our group, such as Sammy, who scaled to $100,000 in the last 7 days. He posted this win a few hours ago. And this guy, I'm not even joking, took it from a few $100s a day in spend to multiple thousands in spend just by angle testing and focusing on testing new angles. And the angle is essentially the story that you use to activate someone's mass desires. So now that you've figured out what is it that people want, let's say mass desire 3 turns out to be the one that has the highest volume of spend and conversions. Now you're going to test angles against that mass desire and figure out what is the best story or most effective story that we can use to make someone want to act on that mass desire now. And so what I would do is in this same campaign, or you can do this one of two ways. If you launch mass desire testing, you can either start angle testing within that same campaign, or you can launch a totally new campaign with just the angles in them and none of the mass desires. So what I would do is basically for mass desire 3, I would come up with 5 marketing angles that I want to test. And then I would launch each of those marketing angles as 5 individual ad sets, 1 angle per ad set. You can do that in this same campaign, or you can do it in a separate campaign as well. And your goal with angle testing, whether it's in the same campaign or in a duplicate campaign, is to beat the performance of your mass desire. Because remember, At this stage, we're sending traffic to a very bare bones product page, like very general, like not really a whole lot of depth to the content on the page. And we're not even using advertorials or pre-sales or anything. We're just sending that traffic straight to a product page, and it just so happens to be converting. So once we actually focus on angles, and then once we start to add on landing pages to this as well, that is how you really start to scale a store from doing a couple hundred a day to $1,000 a day to 10K a day. Now, looking back on the actual ads themselves, a couple of things that I think I could have improved. Number one would be the hooks in general. I think I don't want to say I got lucky, but looking back at some of the hooks that I used for the actual ad creatives, you can see that some of them were a little bit of throat clearing, or in other words, taking too long to get to the point. So a hook should really drive curiosity, grab the attention of your target customer avatar, and encourage them to keep reading. And as you can see with a hook like this, because I was just moving fast for the sake of recording the video and I wasn't really sitting down to take time with this, I ended up with several hooks in my ad sets that I believe led to significantly higher cost per clicks than I could have otherwise gotten had I focused on the hook. Such as this one here is a really good example where it is attention grabbing and it is curiosity driving, where it says, "I'm so sorry, my daughter whispered, gathering her kids' coats after only 20 minutes. Mom, we just can't, blah, 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 blah." It's a good hook. It drives curiosity, but to be honest, it doesn't really speak to our customer. It's not grabbing the attention of our customer avatar. I mean, the most obvious way to speak to your customer avatar is to call them out in the hook. If you're a 50-year-old woman who suffers with cat allergies, I need you to read this. Something as basic as that. When you have a hook like this that especially cuts off on the mobile view, you're not using the real estate as effectively and efficiently as you could. And so that was one of probably the first thing that I noticed after I launched, when performance started out and we were getting add to carts, just weren't getting checkouts and purchases, that I realized I could have gone back and fixed. So definitely make sure that your hooks do not cut off on mobile, especially if they cut off on the see more. You're going to lose a lot of clicks by not having your full hook captivate someone within the space allotted to you on mobile view. Next thing that I would have improved would be the actual images that I chose. If I break this down by age, you'll probably see, let's see, 65. Yeah. So you're going to see, as you can see, 65 plus predominantly where the spend is allocating towards. And as you can see, the avatar that I used in my ad looks nothing like a 65-year-old woman. In fact, this lady could be 18, she could be 24, she could be 30, but she could be any age. We just know for sure she's not 65 plus. And obviously, if you're creating ads, you want to speak directly to one specific customer avatar. That means someone who is a specific age with specific wants, beliefs, needs, problems. And that needs to be communicated in every facet of the ad, not just your ad copy, but your visual as well. And I noticed this with Purify, the cat fountain, the water fountain store, that just by switching my ads to feature, I was running ads, right? And the ad copy had an orange cat mentioned, orange tabby, and the image had a gray tabby cat. And one of the feedback and comments that I would get on the ads was, "This is so bullshit. You can tell it's an ad because she's talking about an orange cat and it's a white cat," or "This is not a tabby cat. Are you lying?" Things like that. And so literally just by switching the image to a tabby cat, that has now become the top performing image and the image that I'm able to scale to multiple 5 and 6K a days. Just by swapping out the image and making sure that it's all congruent and speaking to one specific customer avatar. So that is another thing that I would fix. Again, for the purposes of the video, I just went as quickly as I could, trying to get the ads up as quickly as possible. But again, if there's anything that I want to test immediately after, especially if you launch a product in the same way that I did, which is very haphazardly and just very fast, the first thing I would do is look for creatives and images and visuals that I can use that actually align with who my customer avatar is. Now, those are basically the two things that I definitely do think I could have done better. In terms of what I think went really well, the cost per click metrics that I got, I really wish that purchase would show up. Damn, that's so annoying. But anyways, I really think that the cost per click that I got and the click-through rate I got is exactly what you want to strive for when you run this kind of setup. So if you launch your ads in the first $20 to $30 and you're not seeing at least $1 cost per click, you need to pause it and turn it off completely. And you need to relaunch, use the same desires, but usually when you have a high cost per click, low click-through rate, that's an indication, obviously, that your ads are not attention grabbing. Otherwise, people would be clicking on them. So the first thing that you need to fix is if you do notice your cost per click is above $2, especially if it's above $3, you don't have to let that run a full $100. You can pause that pretty much immediately and relaunch. Keep your desires the exact same. You just need to fix the actual creatives themselves. And if your creatives are not hitting $1 cost per click, the areas that you want to focus on the most are the hook. So this section here, your headline, and your creative image itself. So those are the three things. If you think about how the ad actually shows up on someone's feed, whether they're on mobile view, whether they're on desktop, they're going to be scrolling like really, really quickly, especially on desktop. There's all kinds of other content competing for attention. And so if if your ad rather shows up on someone's feed, in the first frame, what are the elements that are going to stand out, right? What are the elements that actually appear on screen? It's going to be the image. That's going to take up about 80% of the canvas, as you can see. Then the first line of text on your ad copy. And then if they're on Facebook, it's going to be the headline as well. But as you can see on Instagram feed, you're barely going to get, well, number one, you're not even going to get a headline, but you barely get that first sentence to show up as well. So those are the three elements that you want to improve, and keep testing new combinations of all three until you get the cost per click down to $1. Once you get the cost per click down to $1, it's very rare for me to not see someone at least convert at break even. Typically, if they're not converting at break even, when the cost per click is at $1 or below, there's something off on the page. Either the offer is shit or the product page is just weird. So when in doubt, go to your competitor's product page, use a very basic theme, try to eliminate as much friction as possible, and adjust your offer until you can get something that converts. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content as always. I really wish that this sale would track in the ad account, just so I could have the dopamine hit of seeing the one there. But it's all good. I'm just pumped that we were actually able to get that sale and hit the target, because man, I was sweating. I'm not gonna lie, but hopefully you guys can see just how powerful this strategy is. And any and all information and resources that I used in the process of making these two videos is going to be linked in the description below, including all the research prompts, the AI prompts that I use, all the tools that I use. I mean, you guys saw me do it step by step, so there's nothing stopping you from following along, finding a product that's proven to sell, and testing the strategy out for yourself. And guys, look, ultimately at the end of the day, there's millions of fucking dropshipping YouTubers on YouTube. And I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you that, my strategy is just the best. I think test it out for yourself and see what kinds of results that you get. And I'll let the results of this strategy speak for themselves when you go to test it out. And I'm just so confident that we have not only the best dropshipping community online. So shout out to anyone who's in the community watching this content, because you guys are fucking awesome. But I just think we have the most streamlined step-by-step process to hitting $1,000 a day with branded dropshipping. And I'm not just saying that just because, I'm saying that just because of all the incredible results we've been able to generate, especially over the last couple of weeks. It feels like people are just getting some insane results. So shout out to everybody in the group hitting their first $3,000 days, 100K weeks, 3K days, 5K days. I mean, the list goes on. First 1K days, 10K days, 16K days, complete beginners getting their first sales. I mean, it's just honestly so fulfilling to see people who, just like me, were probably disenfranchised by a lot of dropshipping YouTubers, gurus, trying out all these strategies, ripping content, to see them finally getting success is awesome. And I want you to be one of them. Whether or not you join my community, I want you to use these strategies so you don't have to get sold into some fucking high ticket program that's $8,000 like I did 3 years ago and get mediocre results. I want to give away the best content for free, give it to you guys, and let the results speak for themselves. So guys, if you want to see more challenge type videos, because honestly, even though I was stressed as fuck making this, sweating, I'm not going to lie, I had a ton of fun making this. I was thinking to do a dropshipping challenge where I try to build the entire store on my phone, like literally the ads, try to do everything on a phone. Let me know if you'd want to see that, or if there's any other content that you guys would be interested in seeing, just to spice it up and switch things up on the channel. But as always, hope you guys enjoyed the content. And if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're someone who is a little bit more serious about starting and scaling a branded dropshipping business to $1,000 a day, I mean, I think this is probably the best advertisement for God tier ecom that I could have made, instead of just trying to convince anyone to join. I mean, just check out the results of the video that we just did. But yeah, if you're someone who's a little bit more serious and you want to see a little bit more as to how I start and scale branded dropshipping businesses to $1,000 a day in 3 simple steps, then I would strongly recommend you check out the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom. As a quick preview, when you join, you get access to the community where all of our members are sharing their strategies, what's working for them. Like, for example, Sammy the other day just hit 1,000, or a couple hours ago just hit $100,000 in the last 7 days, and literally shared the one thing that was responsible for that. And now all of us get to learn from that and implement it into our businesses. So you get access to the community, you get access to the classroom, which has the 3-step system for finding a product, building a store, and launching your ads, exactly as I did in yesterday's video, in addition to a bunch of other bonuses. And you can even unlock free one-on-one coaching calls with me personally at no additional charge. And lastly, of course, we have 3 weekly Q&A calls, live problem-solving sessions every single week where you can ask me questions, get feedback on stores, ads, whatever you need. Just imagine if every time you had a problem or a question in your dropshipping business, you wouldn't have to scour YouTube or watch my content or some other YouTuber's content. You could literally just ask me on a call live. No brainer. So if you want access to the community, the classroom, and the 3 weekly Q&A calls, then click the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom. Right now, if you're seeing this portion of the video, that means you can still join for an entire year and get 60% off an annual subscription, which is basically the price of 5 months, but you get an additional 7 months for completely free. So absolutely no brainer deal in my opinion. So that is still active. And of course, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. So you can try it out. And if you hate it, you don't get any results, whatever the case may be, as long as it's within 7 days, you can get your money back. No questions asked, no bullshit refund policy. Like you have to watch 6 hours of course content and show up to 2 Q&As to get a refund. If you don't like it, I don't want to force you to stay in it. You can get your money back, no questions asked. So anyways, guys, I'm going to shut up now. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.